to YouTube channel. I am your host, Vegetable Man, and today we are playing video game. See, I didn't want to rush into the next video that I'm working on with the anime series that I talk about because I want to spend a little bit extra time making sure that it's really good. So this week I'm putting out a video about Nine Kings, which is a video game that I enjoy, and I'm most certainly not just doing this because Guy threatened to cut me open if I didn't upload in a week. So let's get moving, but before we do, make sure you keep this image in mind. It'll be important later, trust me. So Nine Kings is a game where you play as one of 9 kings, except it's in the alpha. So if you're counting or good at math or just particularly perceptive, you'll realize that there are only 7 kings in the game so far. But this is the king you start with. You unlock other kings by doing other stuff, firing off spells, collecting money, collecting bodies. But today we're just gonna play as like the base faction, so you can get a feel for what's going on. Now, since I am a master of all things video game, I've already beaten the 2 hardest difficulties in the game. So I'm just gonna show you a thing or two about we'll do it on medium. It's on medium, so we're gonna play on medium. You have these cards that essentially affect the way that the playthrough goes, but you don't have to worry about those because if I explain them to you right now, you wouldn't understand them the same way that I didn't understand them when I was going into this. Now look, at some point this was on Steam as a deck builder. That's not what this is. There are cards, those cards are fake. Now there is an optimal place to put this castle. I'm gonna tell you where it is. It's right here. Fuck that. So, we're starting with we start with 3 cards, and every round you play until you have 2 cards. You play little guys in different plots of land. You have a limited number of plots of land, and they have different effects on each other. So for now, I'm just going to play the soldiers in a suboptimal spot because I'm not really paying attention. And we have these little pixel fellows, and they run out, and it's got pixels. That's the reason I bought this game, by the way. It's because I fucking love pixels. Now, if you notice, we're completely murdering them. Don't worry, that's not going to last very long because we picked the hardest difficulty, if you remember. Now, this is a little guy called the Dispenser, and the Dispenser is my favorite thing in this entire game. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off what I'm trying to pull off here, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to pull off what I'm pulling off here. I've got a way with words. What can I say? I'm just next level. So we're gonna we don't know where this, we'll just slap this thing right here. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a good place for it eventually. Now, what I didn't show you in the first round is that you actually have an ability with all of the different factions. You have a baseline ability that is attached to your castle, and that's the sort of interactive part of the game. And so if I just click somewhere on the screen, round's over. But we're playing on the hardest difficulty. That must be a sort of like an issue that popped up. I don't really know what's going on, but we're gonna grab level 2 of the castle. We're gonna slap it on there because we've been using the castle so much. You need to consider the fact that that is the thing that I've used the most in this game so far. I mean, it is truly our primary source of damage. Speaking of the sources of damage, you can see how much damage everything does per round with these little numbers over here on the plots. And if you'll notice, the castle is the most. Don't worry about it. Now, I just clicked on something, and I'm gonna tell you what that was when I play it. Now, this is hands down the best thing in the early game, at the very least, because what I said earlier was that when you beat somebody, well, I didn't say this earlier, I'm saying it now. When you beat somebody, you get a choice of 3 cards. You grab one of those cards, and the way that your turn starts is when you get down to 2 cards. But if you see this little royal decree right here, it says that receive 2 cards after every battle, and you no longer choose your shit. So basically, of those 3 options, I get 2 of the cards, but I don't get to choose them. Now, this might not sound ideal to you, but you're wrong. So I'm just going to take that. If you remember from earlier, I grabbed this little card without telling you guys about it because I'm really good at presenting. What this does is it gives you 3 gold at the end of every year. Now, this might not sound that great since I haven't even talked about gold yet, so it seems irrelevant to you guys, but trust me, this is important. So we're going to slap it. Oop. We're going to slap it in the back corner there, right? So my guys are still running out. Little Pixel Man. Now, I should probably explain what the castle does at this point. It does fucking this. Boing. You just fire off a boulder, and you can do that as many times as you like as this little knot tree fills. You can just throw rocks at people. And surprisingly, sometimes throwing rocks at people is the right choice. Now, if you notice, we have 4 cards, and every round so far, I've been playing 1 card. But the round's not over. Because what I said was that it takes until you get down to 2 cards. So when you take Gambler, you get to play 2 cards every round. And if you don't understand why that's strong, particularly with this card, you're about to find out. Now, I'm just gonna slap a castle over there. I'm just gonna keep this shit moving. You might have noticed some numbers popping up. You might have said, oh, I wonder what that is. Maybe if I had a better presenter, I'd know what that is. But alternatively, shut the fuck up. So, I'm going to keep throwing rocks at people. We're going to keep on winning because that's what we're due. Hashtag... Oh, God, I almost went to a dark place. I almost said hashtag MAGA. That's crazy, bro. Anyway, do you guys miss Charlie Sheen ever? Do you ever wonder, like, oh, man, I miss when winning was whatever the fuck he decided to do on a Tuesday night. Now, every once in a while, you'll get a blessing that'll pop up. I mean, I say every once in a while. It's once per run. You'll get a blessing that pops up, and it'll tell you that something is going to happen in the future. In 9 years, we're going to get a blessing. What's that blessing? Whatever the fuck this says. The cards on the target plots will level up in the year of the prophecy. Now, what does that mean? Because right now it sounds like I'm trying to introduce you to a religion. What that means is there are 3 plots. They're called plots, by the way. 3 plots. Here, here, and here. In the year of the prophecy, which is not currently clear, because I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's just off screen. In the year of the prophecy, all 3 of these plots are going to level up. And leveling up is a good thing. You'll find out why it's a good thing when it happens, because I don't want to explain. I'm tired. So we're going to slap some paladins right there, because we're going to want them to level up eventually. And now we have a card that we don't necessarily want. And the question is, what do you do with cards you don't necessarily want? Well, you have an option to sell them, but most of the time, you're kind of wasting a turn. Unless this card is... Oh, this card is one of the best towers in the entire game, without question. Single target, it gains 1% attack speed for each gold you get. Now that may not seem like a big deal, but if you get the right cards... And with Gambler, I'm hoping to get the right cards. Trust me, this thing is going to be a big fucking deal. And since we get gold every time we sell a card, I'm just going to sell this thing, and I'm going to buff this thing. And if you notice, there was an extra 3 there, and you might say, oh, where did that come from? Pay attention. You should have paused the video to figure out what the fuck was going on. If I'm not a good enough presenter, do it yourself. So Boulder and Boulder. That took longer than I thought it was going to take, but we won, so it doesn't matter. Now, I got a little thing here called Midas Touch, and this is an interesting card, because what this does is it gives you a 2% chance to get 1 gold every time you kill something. You might think, well, you know, okay, what does that mean? It means that if I slap it on this guy, and if I upgrade him because I want him to get stronger, and he is my primary source of damage right now. These guys are more tanky, these guys are doing damage, and I didn't get any archers. What that means is every time they kill somebody, they have a 2% chance of buffing this tower, which is what I want, but they're slow as fuck, so it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And also, the percentage isn't that high. It doesn't matter for the early game. This is more of a late game strat. Trust me, just stick around to see what's going to happen, what atrocities I am going to commit once this thing is fully buffed. Now it's time to wage war against another king, and this is important because as you've seen, you get different cards from different kings, and that can severely affect the way that things play out. Now I know for a fact that this guy is a pain in the ass, so I'm not picking him. I could because I'm a pro gamer and I can fight anybody, but I'm going to pick this guy instead because he's more convenient for me and he helps me to get where I'm trying to go. So I haven't been explaining these cards very well, and honestly, you feel free to pause the video at any given point if you really want to learn anything about them, but right now I'm just trying to show you one specific strat for the game. I'm sure there are infinite strats, and all of them I am aware of, by the way, because I'm a pro gamer, but I just don't have the time in this type of video to go through them. I only want to show you one specific strat, and it's not like the only strat that I've learned to win the game. It's more complicated than that. I'm a man of mystery and intrigue, and you know, if there's one thing that I refuse to do at any given moment, it's procreate. So I'm gonna sell that. I don't like that card. And we have Elf over here, and Elf might be good in the year of our Lord when everything is going to level up on different plots. There's no specific reason that I shouldn't put this guy here. It's probably not ideal, But I forgot I'm speedrunning. I'm speedrunning, by the way. I'm trying to do this fast. Fun fact, for this game, there is an achievement for speedrunning. If you beat the game in 9 minutes, beating the game is getting to getting to year 33 in 9 minutes, then you get an achievement, which is rare. And I kind of like that because I don't really see any achievements related to speedrunning on Steam. Probably because it's a little bit too fucking hard. Most people wouldn't like that, but for an autistic game like this, it's good. It's a good little achievement. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to like about this game, namely the pixels. But apart from the pixels, there's just a lot of stuff to enjoy. It's an optimization type of game. So I'm just going to optimize this by getting it to level 2. And I'm going to buff this a little bit so that I get 6 gold every year. So this is going to get 6% faster every year. And, you know, it's going slow right now, so it probably doesn't seem that impressive. But this is something that you're just going to have to trust me on, man. Look. Once this thing gets going, it's going to be nasty. And it's going to surprise you. And if it doesn't surprise you, I don't know, go fuck yourself, man. I'm done. Now, every once in a while, the merchant will pop up. And they give you an option to buy stuff that you don't have from different groups. Now, normally, you know, re-rolling would cost money. But I have a little bit of an upgrade because I'm a pro gamer that lets me re-roll twice for free. And I have a few things that I kind of want to look for. So I'm going to look for him. And unfortunately, I'm going to miss him on the first one. But it's okay, because I'm going to get him on the second one. So we're going to get back to the game. And what I'm going to do right here, because I got this stuff that's definitely useful to me, I promise, is I'm going to buff my thing, which is the intent. The plan was all along to bluff this thing, obviously. To bluff. I'm sort of maybe unintentionally speaking my mind here. So you see these guys that teleported to my backline? Fuck them. So these guys, God, I can't keep this up for an extended period of time, man. I'm doing my best. Boulder mercenaries, goodbye. Tower buff. Next thing. We got mercenaries. We also got overinvest. This is gonna be really good eventually, but that moment is not right now. Right now, the best thing to do, in my opinion, because these elves, they're cool, but they're not a part of the plan. So I make them go away. Now, you might have noticed a little buff happen over here. Don't worry about that. We'll get to that eventually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slap this right here. These are mercenaries. Their number is strictly based on how much gold you have. Normally, this is better for other factions, but for me, since I got a decent amount of gold, it's not bad. Now, what I'm going to do is ignore that. Don't pay attention to the boulder, all right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this play out and not interrupt at all. Because if you remember, my soldiers have Midas Touch. And what I want is for that game. I'm kind of in the middle of something. Can you... Okay. Oh, yeah. Go for it. So every once in a while, this fucking thing will pop up. And it'll tell you. What this does is it lets you expand your domain for no gold. And eventually you have to pay for it. But not right now. Now, I have a plan. I don't know if it's going to work out. But for now, I'm just going to open up that slot, and I'm going to get immediately lucky. So what this does, this card right here, is every year it has a 50% chance of duplicating an enchantment on one of the adjacent troop. Now, what you might notice is I only have one enchantment. However, eventually, I can have quite a bit. And so what I'm going to do is, for the sake of it, I'm going to level up this plot. Now, I might not have covered leveling because I'm kind of rushing through this right now. Leveling basically means that whatever your tower is going to do, it does it twice. So in this case, it's going to try to buff this twice. It's going to succeed once and it's going to fail once. I don't really mind that. That's 50-50. I'm completely okay with that. That was my chances going into it. Ignore those guys. They're already dead. But the point is, we have one goal. Exactly one goal. And you might have figured out what it is already if you pay attention and have a brain. I want this thing to look like a fucking line. And in order to make that dream a reality, I will do whatever it takes. So I will slap this beacon right here. Now you might wonder, what does this beacon do? Don't worry about that. We'll get to it later. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is, I guess I'm going to slap a spire here. It's not really good, but I don't have anything else to do, and I've got too many cards. Now, I could have sold it, and in retrospect, I should have. Mind your own fucking business. Anyway, so I'm just gonna keep on hurling boulders and shit. Actually, I'm not gonna do that because if you saw, my thing is procking. My little, I'm getting extra gold while I'm watching my guys commit crimes. I wish, oh, there is a way to speed it up. So you can speed it up if you want to, and that's what I should have done a long time ago if I wanted this video to be under 30 minutes. I'm not confident that it's going to be at this point, but I've got my fingers crossed. Now, we get another royal decree, and honestly, none of these things are really good for me, but there are things that are good for me out there. I can't remember what they are at this exact moment. We're going to try to find them. So what we got here is poison thorns. Oh, so here's something funny. So I'm going to press this button. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen, but see if you can guess what's going to happen. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds, right? 5, 4, 3. I lied. I didn't give you 5 seconds. And so what that did is it boosted this by almost 100% of its attack speed immediately. Now, maybe you don't know what that means because you're not that smart or you're not paying attention. Don't worry. You're going to find out eventually. Now, you might think, this little wild card that I've been using and not explaining that can level up any target plot, I might want to use it on this so I can get more Midas touch. Or I might want to use it on this so I can have a stronger gun. No, I'm using it on this because I told you that our plan was to boost this as much as we can, but there is something much funnier that is possible that I'm going to attempt to make happen. So archers, we don't really need them. I don't have any desire for them. And if I could click better, they would have been sold faster. But now they're gone. So we're still fighting people. They're still weaker than us. We're fighting them faster now. I'm going to fight them even faster now because I'm really trying to keep this under 30 minutes. And right now I'm not confident. So just shot him with a gun repeatedly for the purposes of YouTube. That wasn't literal. I'm gonna make this thing go away, and you might be thinking, what the hell did he just do? Shouldn't he explain what these cards do better? Nah, I have a plan. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I dislike procreation. I'm not a fan. Now, Earthworks is an interesting card because it can unlock adjacent plots. If I need to unlock more plots, it would be good for me to use this card, but I don't need to, so it's going away. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place another Spire. Now, you might notice that I just destroyed a Spire. So why am I putting another Spire there? It's so I can destroy this one too. What that does is it levels up 2 random plots. For me, it leveled up the Mercenaries and the Blacksmith. I can't talk about though because there's carnage afoot. The carnage, by the way, is this tower. Now, it might look like it's firing really fast because we're in fast mode, but I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to teach you about my religion again because I completely forgot that that was going to proc. I'm going to... I'm going to look at these like wonderful nature cards, and these look very useful, and they go straight into the well, just once more into the well. And I'm going to drop the speed down to normal speed, so you can see exactly how fast this thing is firing at this point, because it might have looked too fast to you before. No, it is a fucking machine gun, actually. That was the intended effect. That was what we were headed for this whole time. It wasn't just because I had it on super speed. That's just how fast it gets. And understand something. It's gonna get faster. This is a truly degenerate strategy for truly degenerate people like me. And you know, by that I mean it's a master strategy, and it's only for pro players. And if you try to do this, you know, you might fail or you might succeed. I don't know. You're never gonna find out until you buy and play the game. And it's on sale on Steam for I think the next 2 hours. So, you know, if you hear about this game within 2 hours of me recording this video, because that's definitely not when this video is going up, then you can buy it on sale too, and it'll be sick. Now, what you might notice is I am mowing these people down, even though it's on super difficult mode, and I do have it on super difficult mode, and it's kind of strange that it's really not showing that off, but it is what it is. So I got 2 new cards that I have a free and open plot right here that I can put them on. So you guessed correctly, I'm going to throw them in the well of shame. They're going to disappear into the void, and we're never going to see them again. And you know why that is? It's because we have a gun. And as it turns out, when people are running at you with boars and elves with little bows and whatnot, you just mow them down before your guys can even make it to them. And it doesn't matter. They're already dead. There's nothing they can do. Now, the church is back, and they're trying to collect a tithe. And I don't respect that because I'm a king. I don't want to pay tithes. This isn't my jam, church. And so I'm just gonna... strategy is out the window, man. I was planning stuff for a long time, and now I don't know and truly don't care what plot of land opens. I'm not planning on using it. I just wanted to kill the tree. Speaking of killing trees, into the Well of Shame. Now, this is actually not a bad card. This clones any selected plot, which means you can level it up. And I want to level up my dispenser, but I want to level up my blacksmith more. And you're going to see why eventually. So I'm going to slap that on there. And I'm going to watch all my stuff get buffed. And I'm sure there's sound effects. I can't hear them, to be honest with you. I have everything muted right now. So if my voice is not it's not getting over these sound effects, I apologize. It's because it's a gun. Anyway, we're back to the planning phase. And the planning phase is my favorite phase because I get to slap Midas Touch on this guy. And now I have 3 of the same card. Now you might be wondering, why am I holding on to this card? Don't worry about that. You're going to find out. But for now, I'm going to put it on the castle. Now, you might be thinking, what in the hell are you doing, you fucking vegetable? I thought we were leveling up the dispenser. I thought the plan was to make the dispenser a machine gun of doom, which it very clearly is. But there's something funnier that we can do, and some of you may have noticed what's going on. But, you know, some of you may not have, and it's okay. Yeah, it's tough to figure things out sometimes. We got another royal decree. We can decide what goes on in our kingdom, appropriately so. And we're gonna do, I don't know, maybe this one. Applying their effects one more time, like Daft Punk, sounds like a good time. So we're gonna choose Overwork, and we're gonna get more stuff. Now, these cards actually look pretty good. I have a paladin right here. A scout tower could be pretty fucking neato. I think we should probably throw them into the Well of Shame because that's where they belong, if I can click better. So what happens here is we're getting all of our shit 4 times now because this game is funny. And so I have a gun that is just relentlessly mowing down the opponents. I can't even proc Midas Touch anymore, so this setup is kind of useless. Now, we got Overinterest again, which is objectively funny. The thief goes straight to hell. The Overinterest, you know it's going on the castle. Wait for it. Now, we're still buffing stuff. We're still speed running this game. We're trying to do our best to show off just how effective a gun is against a fantasy world. And it turns out it's pretty effective, but we're not done. We're not going to stop. Now, we can make peace with an enemy king, and unfortunately, I can't choose not to do this. So instead of, making peace with this King of Greed who has provided us so much, I need more. So I'm going to choose this worthless plant. I'm going to get it out of here. Now this is humanity in a nutshell, right? There's a man desperately trying to bring back his kingdom from the ruins of nothingness. There's a fat and capitalist pig who is just writhing around, not writhing around, what's the word I'm looking for? He's just rolling around in his riches. He sleeps on a bed of gold. And then there's an old guy with a staff and wings. That is humanity in a nutshell if I've ever seen it. Now, we got Shaman and Wizard, which are 2 pretty good units from the magical school of wizardry with the old guy with the beard, which means I think we're going to slap this one right in the well. I think the well is the best place for some solid units like that. And we're going to continue to watch as what I can only describe as hell rains down upon this rebellion. These are our own people, our own units, and now they're all dead. So, next round, we continue to make money. We continue to see numbers go up. We get Steel Coat. Steel Coat could be pretty good on, like, the soldiers, but it's better in the Well of Shame, as well as this Paladin here. I mean, I respect Paladins. They fight for their god, for their country. They go on crusades, and then they feed the Well of Shame, and they bring more gold into my pocket, and that's what I like to see. Now, you might think, hey, I should probably try to pay... Oh, nope, never mind. The fight's over. See, that's what really matters in this type of game. It's that you mow down the enemy with a machine gun before they can even do anything. Now, we have this shop here again, and we have options that we can look into. We can try to upgrade things. We can get our vault fully leveled. That would be cool. Sorry, I had a bit planned, and now it's over because I already got everything I need. Let's just grab a library and say, see you later. So I grabbed a library. I'm going to slap it right there so I can buff these guys because they're doing 71 damage, and that's definitely valid compared to this. And so I'm going to slap that on our dispenser. We now have a fully leveled dispenser, which means that it's finally time to use this on the castle. So we used it on the castle again for reasons. You're going to find out those reasons soon. Trust me. Because this game only goes to year 33. Yeah, these years up here, I may have explained it earlier, but I'm explaining it again because you guys are forgetful. I know you. It only goes up to year 33. And that is the... Oh, and we killed him again. Okay, so we're back to the village. We got wild card again. Now, this would be good on any number of buildings if we had any buildings that weren't fully maxed. Now, you might notice we have mercenaries that aren't fully maxed. That could be, we have a vault, that could be good. We have, everything else is maxed actually. So we have a vault that can make more money. And we have mercenaries that could become stronger. And as you know, if we get another 3 gold at the end of the year, that's going to stack up and compound. So the best place for us to use this wild card is on the Well of Shame. And the archer goes in the Well of Shame too, just because, he didn't want to go the first time, and I really wanted to force him in there, so I just kicked him on the back of the neck a little bit. Don't worry about that, though. I'm not committing any crimes. This isn't a big deal. These are they're peasants. Don't worry, they're peasants. Now, if you notice, the enemy is at our doorstep, and they are fighting to the last, and the last is dead. So we're back to the village, and we have the church showing up again, and they say, we really need that tithe now. You seem like you're doing very well, but frankly, I don't respect the church. So I choose a spot that doesn't matter. I slap the beacon. The beacon is maxed. So I slap the beacon down and I grab another dispenser and I slap it down there because why not, right? Like at this point we are defying God, and these dispensers are clearly our end game. This is our strongest unit. This is an unstoppable force of nature. Look at where we started. Look at how slow that dispenser is firing. Look at how slow it's firing. Meanwhile, the chain gun on this thing is just completely insane. We get another library. This is a pretty good unit. So we're going to put it there and we're going to make it disappear because we get 3 more units. And with those 3 extra units, you guys, you know what we have to do. We have to send them into the Well of Shame because that's truly where they belong, except for overinvest, because as this is our best unit, we're going to put it on the castle again. So we're going back to the field of battle. Honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of this at this point. I've really, as a king, I've sort of felt like this has gone on too long. This warlike state between us, it feels morally just not right. They're already dead. Yeah, I don't have any time to mourn their deaths because they're already gone. Now, we have options again. Royal Decree, you already know what it is. We can get more move speed. We can get more attack speed on our towers. We can... Oh shit. So we get more attack speed on our towers, and we get another vault. Now, objectively, right, 5 turns ago, I should have leveled this thing up. That would have been the correct thing to do. However, the well desires souls. So we put it in the well. Now we have an option to destroy something and get 30 gold for each level it had. So arguably, I could destroy this thing, and I could get 30 gold, which would buff this tower even more. And that would be objectively better. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the Well of Souls, which would be funnier if I landed it the first time. So we're going to watch as, honestly, I feel like God has abandoned this place. I truly feel like these magic users are just an unkind group. It's a straight line. It's just a straight line. Holy shit. At this point, even I'm kind of surprised. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this static buff. Now, just so you remember, right? This library, hello, please stop, you fucking thing. This library has been buffing on a 50% chance 3 times, plus 1 because of our overwork buff every year. So the 1 or 2 stacks of Midas Touch that I threw on these soldiers are now at 29. Which is a lot. And you might think, well, if I use something like combustion to get that same effect where I can basically blow things up the moment that I kill an enemy, and this would be really good on like a ranged unit or something, or a static, where an attack can trigger a lightning chain and it deals 1 damage and a +1 chain per stack. Like, I feel like there's something really solid that can happen here, which is why they're going directly into the Well of Souls, because frankly, we have an MO here. We have a plan, and we've been fulfilling it from day one. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this absolute monstrosity of a building. Just... Sorry, I clearly need to have a healthier diet. Just mowing down the enemy, just absolutely destroying them. It's not even close. This is like an unstoppable tower at this point. Sell me something? What could you possibly sell me? What could you possibly sell me to make me any stronger than I am? Absolutely nothing. Get out of here, you fool. You absolute fool. So what I've gotten is another mercenary, and I can finally sacrifice him to the Well of Souls. Now I got another overinvest. This is my favorite card. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm gonna put this where it truly belongs, on my castle. And we're gonna go into the next round. It's year 31. We've only got 2 more years. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know if we're ready. The final boss is pretty strong, especially since I'm playing on hard mode. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult to deal with these last couple years. I'm sorry, I'm just looking away from my computer, and oh, they're all dead. Okay, so what we're going to do this time, because we're in the bottom 9 at this point. I mean, things are getting serious, and we should probably try to fortify our defenses a little bit, make our guys stronger. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this ultra powerful wizard, and we're going to put him in the Well of Souls, and we're going to put the static in the Well of Souls too. I was thinking about putting them on the soldiers after all this time, but I figured, yeah, you know, it's been long enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the field of battle. We're going to take this very seriously. I mean, look at those guys. They just appeared on our men, immediately tried to assassinate them. How disgusting. And they're all dead. And so we're going into year 33. Now, ominous slabs. The year 33 is when the final attack happens. In this case, it's the King of Greed. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, I have 4 cards left, and I have to play them all. So if I destroy a target plot, I get 30 gold for each level that it had. And that means I can buff this thing up as we have been planning on doing this whole time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it straight to hell, because we've had a plan from the very beginning. If you're paying attention, you know what the plan is. And if you've been paying attention to every little stat boost, you might have noticed that the stats are high. And so for this final boss, this Buddha, this absolute beast, we're just gonna fucking hit him with rocks, baby. That's right. It's been the plan all along. Just hit him with rocks. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's the best way to play the game. You just fire off a bunch of rocks and you win. The kingdom is thrived. I am a god amongst gamers. Oh, and you remember when I told you to pay attention? Look, the screen changes. Fucking pixels, man. That's why I bought this game.